Hello, welcome back to the Pharaoh's Legion. Today we're going to be looking at the Swiss Army knife of the Dreadnoughts. It is also known as the Deredeo. So it is one of the Legion's, I think, most versatile units. It is something that I think I take pretty much every time. Something I start off with, maybe the first thing I put into a list, just to make sure that I haven't soaked up all the points with infantry, corrupted infantry, or Galvorback or something like that. Um, as a word players player, and sometimes Mechanicum. But you know, uh, so why the Deredeo and how is it versatile? So we'll go through it. I'll show you the 205 points, what you get for that in the beginning, the weapon options, which I think you can tackle pretty much anything with these weapon options. And then the other one is what I use it for. And like I said, I use it pretty much for anti-tank. I think it can do everything. But we'll start off with the points. So for 205 points, what do we get? We get a Contemptor Dreadnought, movement 7 instead of 8, so just a little bit slower. But again, you're not supposed to be getting into combat. You should be slowly backing away if anything big comes towards you while shooting the hell out of it. You have 1 less attack, so 2 attacks. Again, you'll just be kicking stuff because you've got guns and guns and your guns. A tough chassis. You've got your 2+ save, which is great in Heresy 2.0, and you have your 5+ invulnerable save, which is also really good because people will take those heavy weapons and aim them at you. You have to keep an eye out for anything that comes at you with instant death. Now, normally that is close combat weapons, but there are some bigger weapons, Brutal 4, which is crazy. But that's another story. You start off with your Anvilus autocannons, they're your main weapon. You've got your Carapace weapon, which is your Boreas air defense missiles, and then you get your chest-mounted heavy bolters, twin-linked. So the heavy bolter, we all know it. In this edition, it has 4 heavy 4 shots. It is strength 5, AP 4, and you get twin linked on this because it's obviously a twin linked one. So rerolling hits, it's pretty good, generic, nice for shooting Mechanicum maybe, and I mean like Thalax, that kind of thing. Then you have your missile launchers, your missiles. You have 4 missiles now. This is what you start off with. You get the Boreas air defense missiles. Now they are lovely missiles, 48-inch range. They've got guided fire, so you don't really need to see what you're shooting at. And they are strength 8 and AP 2. So that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice indeed. What could you use them for? Again, actually thinking about it, you probably want to use them to attack some Mechanicum, because there does seem to be a lot of the Vulturax flying around at the moment. But and it's got Skyfire, so you're hitting at ballistic skill. The only problem with that is you are hitting everything else, not flying at well, 6s to hit, I believe. So it's kind of snap firing is not really what you want to be doing. So I would generally 99% of the time I would switch that out, and actually 100% of the time I've just straight switched it. I did try it a couple of times where I've just fired all 4 missiles because they're 1 shot each, so when they're gone, they're gone. They are nice missiles. It is really a shame to waste them. So I switch out for the Ehlers missile launcher. Now, this, I think we'll talk about this and then go back to the other weapons options. So these are your 2 options. You have the Boreas air defense missile, which I'd switch out immediately for the Aeolus missile launcher. So it has 60-inch range, which is amazing. And at 60 inches, there's probably terrain and stuff in the way. It has guided fire, so it doesn't matter if you can't see them. It's strength 6, AP 3, so it's definitely an infantry killer. And 3 shots, so you've got heavy 3 and pinning. So something on a far objective that you can't get to, and it could be the last minute of a game. What are you going to do? You can shoot it because you can't see it. You can pin it, and when it's pinned, it cannot hold objectives. It loses line for when it's pinned. So yeah, and guided fire. Also, great against kind of side armor on regular kind of vehicles. Obviously, we're not talking Land Raiders. You can still get some nice glances. If you're an Iron Warrior, this is where it comes in even better. You can be hitting straight on to that front armor of that really annoying Scorpius that's been hitting you from behind that building and decimating your guys. You can boom, 3 shots straight into the front of it without being able to see it. And because you're now strength 7 effectively on armor, you are glancing that thing to death. And why didn't you take 2? Did you not take 2 Deredeos? Well, you should. I think they're probably one of the best units in the game, and definitely in the Legion. I think for the weapons and everything, the points, amazing. And all utility. So once you've got your Aeolus missile launcher, it's obviously infantry mostly, light vehicles, rhinos definitely, and things you cannot see. So a nice threat. Heavy weapon squads, something I'd use it on because it also pinning will pin them, but also just killing them off. Strength 6, so you're winning on 2s. AP 3, they're not getting armor saves. Very nice, really nice weapon. Plus, you can hide and shoot them so they can't shoot you back. And then when you've taken enough of them down, you can get into range and let your chest gun. I'm trying my best not to say anything, but yeah. And your heavy weapons, you can get those, firing on whatever you're carrying. Shoot that infantry. Okay, so it comes with the main weapons, the Anvilus autocannon battery. So that's classic autocannons, as in 48-inch range, strength 7, AP 4, heavy 4, so 4 shots. Again, the type of weapon on a Dreadnought chassis doesn't matter too much. You can always move around and fire whatever the hell it is. And seeing as how it's kind of dedicated to the Deredeo, I'm not sure what it matters. But either way, 4 shots. Again, rending 5+, so a much better rend on it. And it has sunder, so make sure that you can try and get those rends. So it can hurt vehicles. You can hurt pretty much any vehicle with this. And twin linked as well. So the chances are you should hit all 4 shots because you're hitting on 2s. If I was an Iron Warriors player, this is definitely something I would think. It comes with it. I can take pretty. You can annoy pretty much anything with it. I would take this, the Aeolus missile launcher, and and heavy bolters. I would probably say I'd never switch to heavy bolters for flamers unless I was a salamander, and even then, you want the range. So, we're sticking with heavy bolters. The autocannon on any other Legion Dreadnought, I would say no, don't take it. It's not that it's a really bad weapon. I would just say in this case, it's trying to be this and that, and I think the Dreadnought can do this and that on its own. So switch it out. Now, for free, you can switch it for the Volkite Falconet. Now, I'm also not a major fan of Volkite, although I don't like being shot with it. I don't like that massive roll of dice. It does kind of make you panic. But the Falconet is a free change, and you can make sure that you switch it out and you say, I am going to dedicate killing infantry. I'm going just for infantry. And again, all the way up until anything with a 3+ save or less, definitely. And if you run out of things to shoot, you can go for those 2+ saves because you have rate of fire. So you can be forcing saves left, right, and center. Also strength 7, so I think Iron Warriors would probably also think, yeah, not bad. You can still hurt things because don't forget it becomes strength 8 for you guys. You could glance something to death, definitely, because it's strength 7, AP 5, which I hate, but heavy 8, so you get 8 shots. So if it was 8 strength 8 shots and you're shooting, say, a Rhino, and this is Iron Warriors again, but even not Iron Warriors, if you've got 8 strength 7 shots and you're shooting a Rhino, there's a good chance you could just accidentally glance it to death. And that's not counting the fact that you also have your missile launcher with another 3 shots and your heavy bolter with your 4 more shots. And again, you have to be pretty unlucky not to hit with most of these. The missile launcher is the only one that isn't twin linked. So the Volkite is. The Volkite also, and I don't think I've seen this on the other types of Volkite, it has pinning. So definitely something you want to be using. 45-inch range puts you in range of other heavy weapon squads and things like that. Well, you should have softened them up with your missile launcher in the first place. Then you move into your 45-inch range and then you destroy them with anything that can shoot back at you. The main aim of the game is to score objectives. So this would be a perfect thing to send on its own looking for line troops. Line troops don't normally have crazy weapons and are not going to be able to really hurt you in return fire. And if they do have anything, they might have 1 or 2 scattered weapons in there, but not really. So go in after those attack squads or similar and just mulch them. You would have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 shots coming out of this thing, mostly wounding on 2s. And yes, they get their saves, but you're going for troops. And 2 of the weapons pin. So suddenly they will either lose their line from being pinned. If they're an assault squad, you can stop them even coming close to you because they might say, oh, well, actually, we'll come over there and sort you out with our chainswords. Don't underestimate chainswords. Heavy troops. A lot of people take heavy troops. Of course they do. It's something we all enjoy. So the next weapon you can switch up to the Hellfire Plasma Cannonade. Now, this is a really nice weapon. It's one I haven't used yet, but I am thinking about it, especially now that the plastic exists. And the weapon sprues are coming out soon, I think, from Games Workshop. So that sounds like something I will definitely get. 2 fire modes, so sustained fire and maximal fire. So sustained fire is probably a safer one to go with when you're shooting at just lots of targets. 36-inch range, strength 7, AP 4, but of course you have breaching 4+ because you're plasma, and you have 6 shots. So it has a nice rate of fire. Again, this is coming in with the other shots that you're really throwing into a unit. If you're going for something with 2+ saves, this is really nice because there's breaching, 50-50 chance, there's a good chance. Again, you're forcing saves with the others. You're wounding definitely on 2s, unless you're facing something really tough, maybe 3s. But this is a lovely weapon. I think the other mode of fire is the maximal. So that makes you strength 8, same range of 36, AP 4, but you get rending 4+. Heavy 1, so you get 1 shot. It gets hot, so mildly dangerous. But you have large blast 5-inch. So strength 8, 5-inch blast, 36-inch range. You need line of sight, yes, but now you are firing the kind of thing that would, yeah. So you are dropping this on your hated Terminator unit over there. What did you say? There's some Varigir coming for you. You better shoot them because you're not going to do well in combat. So you effectively become a Scorpius yourself. You need line of sight, but still you're firing this nice, gets hot blast. And strength 8, so I think definitely straight into the middle of a Terminator squad. And once you've hopefully doubled them out, a few of them, you might switch to sustained fire just to make sure that they can't hide. Those solid dice rolling shots mean that you can't scatter and that kind of thing. So it's nice having the difference between sustained fire and the maximal fire. I think it's good. This one is probably what maybe the auto cannon is possibly trying to be, and a good all-rounder. Maybe not a Land Raider hunter, definitely not for Spartans because your strength 8 is a blast, becomes strength 6. But a really nice gun. I think heavy infantry hunter combined with your missile launcher and again your heavy bolters, you're going to be putting out a lot of hurt. So for me, I want my Deredeo to do everything. So for everything, I mean I want a infantry killer. I want to be able to shoot things I can't see. And I want to be able to destroy tanks all at the same time. So I go for the Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon battery. It only has 2 shots, a heavy 2. It's 48 inches, like a las cannon, but it's strength 10, AP2. So that strength 10 means I'm more likely to hurt things like Land Raiders or basically anything else. I can also double out infantry, heavy infantry that are toughness 5. There's not many out there, but those Galvorback are tough, and being able to take them out with two shots, 2 dead, that's 6 wounds I've just taken from a dangerous unit. The same with any Terminators coming towards you. 2 shots doesn't sound like a lot, but it has twin linked, so you're hitting on 2s. So very unlucky to miss those. Wounding on 2s, and then you are instant deathing anything toughness 5 or less. It's AP2 as well, so it's only invulnerable saves. So you'll get those shots. Again, your other weapons will help with forcing saves if you're hitting anything with a 2-up save. Anything lower than 2-up save, and then you're really putting more onto them. You'll have the extra 3 shots from the missile launcher, and then the heavy bolters always seem to put the wounds on, regardless of AP. So 20 points for the Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon, 2 shots, strength 10, AP2. It has Sunder as well, so when you're going for vehicles, it really helps getting those penetrating hits. The other thing it has is once you get penetrating hits, you get Exoshock 5+, so you roll a dice for each penetrating hit. On a 5+, it becomes 2. So you could take a vehicle out, a smaller vehicle or a slightly larger vehicle out, by just getting those 2 penetrating hits. I think it's one of the best cannons we have, especially like las cannon. I want strength 10 when I'm shooting a vehicle. I don't want to be thinking, well, las cannon might do. No, not good enough. And I don't want to get into the same kind of range that melter gun needs. I don't want to get that close. Why would you need to do that? Boom, dead, boom, dead. You know, it's not just a saying. That's what I want. When I shoot something, I want it dead. And this unit can do it. The Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon is great. For me, the Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon, I can't get that anywhere else. So once I've opened up whatever it is I'm opening up, I have enough shots to shoot them and still annoy them, instead of, let's say I face a tactical squad, killing 2 at a time isn't really exciting. But with the rest of my weapons, I can be killing 4, 5, 6. This is the Swiss Army knife of your army, I think, not just the dreadnoughts. If you are limited in how many you can take, I would say always take at least one of these. They're just so useful. The Deredeo is an auto take for me every time. And I have indeed started taking 2 now and again, because that would be all my heavy weapons. I take those 2 and they can deal with pretty much anything, and they can return fire with their main weapons, unlike certain vehicles. 230 points. It's worth it. Totally worth it. And for me, taking dreadnoughts, because I'm in a word-bearer army, and I have the Mara Gal, which is one of the best dreadnoughts, it can't do what this thing can do. Before I try to get married to this thing, I would like you to let me know what loadouts you've used, which ones you'd like to use, and do you agree with me? Is the Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon probably our best weapon? Like, subscribe, comment, and come again.